Hello, everybody. Welcome to DDTS Live Edition, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm waiting on my water to heat up so I can make my coffee. But let me get my back screen. Let me get my little background taken care of. You know how we do. First and foremost, I'm going to put that. I don't know. Will I get in trouble for posting this picture right here? I don't know. But yep. First and foremost, I want to thank every single person. Welcome to DDTS Wrestling Episode in Edition. DDTS Wrestling Series Episode 3. And I'm so sorry for being late. I'm very sorry for being late. I'm very sorry for being late, everybody. Again, I might have to step out to go get me some, go get my water for my coffee. Thank each and every one of y'all for coming in. I know I'm late, but we're going to have a great time. I'm going to be on here for about an hour or whenever I get tired of doing this. And if you do not want to watch this live, I will have the replay. So let me go on and put this on. Okay. But if you are new here, hit that like button, subscribe button, and that notification bell so you will get notified when I have new videos available. I got a video that I will be uploading later that I've just done for Black History Month. It's a video about Hattie McDaniel. It's an already recorded video. I just recorded before I done this episode live or wrestling edition in the series. That's why I'm late. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the one and only Jacqueline Moore. Actually, I got my phone where I do my notes set. So this gonna be my little helper right here with my notes and everything. So I can't wait to I cannot wait to get into it. I can't wait to get into it. So as a matter of fact, I'll put this right here. So we're going to get into it. So, by the way, before I get into it, thank y'all for coming in. Please hit that like button. Before I get into this, I want to say I'm such a wrestling fan. And I love wrestling. And since it's Black History Month, I wanted to take the time to do this. Hello, Bailey E2Z. Hello, how you doing? Welcome to the live. I am so excited. I don't know if many of y'all are wrestling fans. I don't know if whoever coming in here has heard of this woman, this legendary woman. She is one of the first Black women in the wrestling business to hold the WWE Women's Champion. But in that time, it wasn't WWE, it was the World Wrestling Federation. And this woman is Ms. Jacqueline Moore, aka Ms. Jackie, aka Miss Texas. So yes, indeed, that's who we're going to talk about today. So honestly, I'm just so happy to be able to do this episode. This might not be long, but hey, I'ma basically get into a lot of things regarding this legendary woman and her wonderful matches and moments. So let's go ahead and get into this. So Jacqueline Dolores Moore, she is an American professional wrestler, which means she still wrestles. And she's a wrestling manager, and she is currently and still signed to the WWE under a Legends contract. And Moore also worked for the World Championship Wrestling. And for those of you that do not know what World Championship Wrestling is, it is WCW. That is World Championship Wrestling. It's WCW. That's the abbreviation of it. In 1997 through 1998. But in 1998, she later went on to Total Nonstop Wrestling, Action Wrestling, which is TNA, as a wrestler, manager for and road agent. So pretty much Jacqueline Moore, she pretty much has done it all in her lustrous career. And I truly love and I truly respect her a great deal. And she's one of my female wrestlers. Cause I'm gonna be honest with you. If it wasn't for Jacqueline Moore, if it wasn't for Ms Jackie, if it wasn't for Miss Texas, she owns all those titles and names. Before Jacqueline, it wouldn't have been no Jazz. It wouldn't be no Alicia Fox. It wouldn't be no Bianca Belair. It wouldn't be no Naomi. It wouldn't be no Sasha Banks. It wouldn't be no Jada Parker, Jade Cargill. You know, it wouldn't be a lot of these legendary black women that we have in the wrestling business today. Because I feel if it wasn't for Jackie, a lot of these doors regarding black women in the wrestling world, it wouldn't be no wrestling. Honestly, Jacqueline and Jazz kind of paved the way for a lot of black wrestlers to be seen. And it's so many wrestlers, black women wrestlers, that deserve to be seen. Hello, Kishore, CK, how you doing? Welcome to the live. Are you from which country? Um no, I'm not. I'm not. Cause I just want to get into that. Can y'all hold on for 1 second? I'm about to go get my coffee. My name is DeAndre. By the way, no trolls. If you're trolling, and if you're gonna say something mean, we're not having this. We're not having no disrespect. We're not having no name calling, none of that. So if you're here to troll me or get me out of character, anything, excuse yourself. Okay, no troll. Okay, no troll. Because those are not allowed. But can y'all please excuse me while I go get my coffee? Could y'all excuse me while I go get my coffee? I will be right back. Only respect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Only respect. But could y'all hold on for 1 second while I go get my coffee, please? I'm coming back, but I'm going to leave this picture up. Is that okay with you all? I'm coming back. Okay, thank you so much. Should have put another coffee in. Hey, I'm still here, y'all. I'm coming back. I'm back. I'm sorry. I am back. I had to get my coffee. Let me get this right here. I had to get my coffee fixed. Okay, y'all. I am back. I'm sorry for the delay. Um, so back to what I was saying. If it wasn't for Jackie Moore, if it wasn't for Jazz, it wouldn't be no Alicia Fox, no Naomi, no Bianca Belair, no Sasha Banks, no Jade Cargill, no Jada Parker, no Ember Moon. None of these legendary women. It wouldn't be no them without Jacqueline. It wouldn't be no them without. Okay, hello, I'm DeAndre, and this is my channel, DeAndre Dobbs, the show. This is a live episode that I am doing. A podcast that I have launched on my own, talking about wrestlers, talking about legendary moments in the wrestling community. But yes, I am. Yes, I am. Also, I would also like to disclose that Jacqueline is the first woman, the first black woman to hold the Cruiserweight Championship when she beat Chavo Guerrero. Actually, I got a picture detailing it. Now see this? This is Jacqueline Moore. This is the first woman to hold the Cruiserweight Championship. And she won this title in 2004 of May. She lost the title. She lost the title to Chavo Guerrero at Judgment Day 2004. And after that, she left WWE and she was released from WWE allegedly. And I guess she went to other opportunities. She went to other opportunities, pretty much. Pretty much. That's what she did. Let me get a little sip of my coffee. Because I truly... Wait a minute. I don't like that. No, I'm good. Can I move this up? I don't like that question. But yeah. I'm here. I'm still here. I don't do anything like that. I am a small content creator. That's what I do. And I enjoy life. That's what I do. So yeah, after this moment right here, she left the WWE and she went on to other opportunities in the wrestling world. I think that's when she went to TNA, Total Action Wrestling, Total Nonstop Action Wrestling. But she is well remembered when she was in a feud with Sable. She says, I am from India in South part of India. Well, that's wonderful. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. And thank you for introducing yourself. Nice to meet you introducing yourself. 1 second, you all. Okay. I'm back, y'all. Thank you so much. I will say this. She is most well remembered for this moment right here. I'm gonna make sure I move out the way for this one. She's well remembered for this moment, for being in a rivalry with Sable. Oh, okay. Um, she's well remembered for this moment when her and Sable would when they would be getting into it with these matches. And I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of people's have, in my opinion, a lot of people's tried to how people's put it Sable against Jacqueline, saying that Sable was better than Jacqueline is totally in my opinion, I don't agree. Because let's be honest, let's really be honest. I'm not saying Sable was not good because of anything. I'm saying because Sable, in my opinion, it does not matter how much she trained, how much she fought, how many bikini contests she did, how much she trained and lifted. Sable, in my opinion, she was not a fighter. She was just there for looks. She was not there to fight. She was just there for looks. She was just there to be on the grace of Playboy magazines and everything. She was just, to me, she was a sex symbol. Sable was not no wrestler. She was just a sex symbol. She was not no wrestler. But you got Jacqueline. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. You have a good day. Well, in Jacqueline's case, Jacqueline is well experienced. Jacqueline started off in the late 80s, early 90s in WCW and all around the world in a lot of production places. Sable was not no wrestler to me. Jacqueline was the real wrestler because it is alleged Sable never took no bumps in the ring. She never took no bumps. She never took no bumps. Where you got Jacqueline took a lot of bumps. Jacqueline won her first women's title in 1998 in the WWE. Well, in that time, it was the World Wrestling Federation. A lot of people compare Jacqueline to Sable, saying Sable was better than Jacqueline. No, Jacqueline was the bomb. Jacqueline body was T. Jacqueline had so much experience because there's no way Jacqueline, with being in the WWE, being in WCW, being in all those wrestling promotions, there's no way this woman should have been on. There ain't no way this woman just held the women's championship twice. Ain't no way she should have been unheld the championship twice. She should have been unheld the women's championship when the women's championship was relevant. She should have held it about a good 4 or 5 times because Jacqueline was amazing. Not only did Jacqueline fight women, Jacqueline fought men. She did not care what you was. If you was a man or a woman, she was gonna defeat you. She was gonna challenge you to a fight. If you was a man or a woman, this woman right here, she was going to challenge you to a fight. She was. She was going to challenge you to a fight. Some of her greatest rivalries. Hey, from the SIP, how you doing? Welcome in. How are you? How are you doing? Welcome in. Welcome to the live. I'm a little late starting, but I'm here. How you doing? It's so wonderful to see you. Um, yeah, welcome to the live. How you doing? Um, yes, that's wonderful. I'm glad. I'm glad you're doing good. And how is work going? I was just thinking about you this morning. I'm having me another cup of coffee. I'm gonna have to put. But yes, Jacqueline. Without Jacqueline, there wouldn't be no Naomi. I don't know none of that. And some of her greatest rivalries consist of Jacqueline, Lita, Trish Stratus, Jazz, Victoria, Dean Malenko, Ivory. She's a two-time WWE Women's Champion. She's a one-time Cruiserweight Champion. Her resume should have been bigger than it is. Hope one day you become like Speed. I don't even know who that is. I can only become me, the one and only DeAndre. I can only become me. I can't become nobody else. I can only become me because there's only one me. Oh yeah, I heard of him. I can only become me, not nobody else, but only me. But I thank you for that comment. I'm only one person, and that is me. So yeah, Jacqueline, her resume should have been longer. Her resume is long, but I really feel like she should have held more titles than she held in her lustrous career. Because I can read some things. I can read some things. Hold on one second. Cause I'm not getting this. I'm not doing this with these trolls. I'm not putting up with it. I'm not. My notes just went out. Also, I would also like to do this. She began her wrestling career in World Championship Wrestling, but is well known in the United States Wrestling Association, where she was a 14-time USWA Women's Champion. Now, boom, 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 boom. Before she came to WWE, she was a 14-time USWA Women's Champion. 14 times. 14 times USWA champion. And that's amazing. And she later moved to World Championship Wrestling, where she briefly served as Kelvin Sullivan's valet, manager of Harlem Heat. Now, the team of Harlem Heat consisted of Booker T and his brother Steve. Now, again, Jacqueline was inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame in 2016. Let me get that picture. Okay, I'm back, y'all. Okay, this is her getting inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame in 2016. Now, let's go back. She's a 14-time USWA champion. She is a two-time women's champion. She is a one-time cruiserweight champion. You mix all of that up with that, so she's really a 17-time champion. And I really believe that her and Jazz, it was an interview that Jacqueline did with DS, ring the bell. Shout out to him, because he is one of the greatest to ever do it. And shout out to Chris Van, what's his name? Chris Van. Chris Van. Shout out to him because he do interviews with wrestlers as well. But shout out to Ring the Bell DS and Chris Vallet. Jacqueline said in an interview on DS Ring the Bell that they thought about putting Jacqueline and Jazz as tag team partners and going for some tag team championship belts. I don't know if was it for the women or was it from the men, but you got Jacqueline, you got Jazz, two black women, two wonderful powerhouses. Yes, from the SIP. I was like that too. Like truly, she's truly amazing. I grew up watching this lady. I grew up watching Jazz. I grew up watching Jacqueline. I grew up watching every woman that I really watched, that I really named. It is said in the interview allegedly that Jacqueline said in the interview that her and Jazz they talked about Vince McMahon and the producers and the creators. They talked about her and Jazz. Um, says, "Hey, bro, I don't troll. Why you made me time out? Be confident, man." Okay, because I'm not going to explain myself. I don't know because I don't know. Okay, well, okay, well, when it comes to things like that, I don't like to do that on my. I don't like to do that on my platform. Like I don't like telling my personal stuff while I'm doing content. If you got any, this the thing. If you got any questions that you would like to ask me personally, if you want to talk to me personally, if I wanted to connect with a person personally and privately, I would I would have gave you, something to connect with me on. But while I'm doing content, I don't play that. I don't do that because that's unprofessional. I'm not saying that you are. I don't do that. I don't mix business with pleasure. I don't do none of that. It's a time and a place to do that respectfully. Just don't be disrespectful. Yes. Thank you from the SIP. Just don't be disrespectful about it. Be respectful and have some boundaries and be meaningful about it. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So I'm not trying to be mean and this and then the third. I'm not trying to get triggered by trolls. I don't play that trolling because once I see a troll being disrespectful and everything, I don't go for that. So back what I was saying, but I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate your honesty. But back what I was saying, the creators and producers, they wanted Jacqueline and Jazz to allegedly want to talk about them going for the tag team titles. You know, create tag team titles for the women that they do today, that they got today. Jacqueline said allegedly that they were basically, if they put them tag team belts on them, oh, it would be hell trying to get them off of them because they was two badasses. Jazz was a badass, legendary and a good wrestler, and Jazz was too. And not only that, they were black women and they were professionals. So yeah. Okay, I'm being respectful and I'm new to the channel. Well, I appreciate that. I thank you. I thank you for that. I didn't mean no harm. I'm just putting it out there. I wouldn't being mean. I'm just being honest. All I ask is, don't be disrespectful, be respectful. You know, if you want to reach out, just, you know. But yes. So yes, that's why I said I wanted to do this episode on Miss Jacqueline Moore. And it's so much and it's so many other things that I want to talk about her too. But how I'm doing so far, y'all. By the way, if you want to follow me on any of my social medias, Facebook, DeAndre Dobbs, Instagram, DeAndre Marquise Dobbs. Cause those are mostly two apps that I mostly use. So I want to share some more stuff about Jacqueline. She was inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame 2016. Now she has a Legends deal. Now she has a Legends deal. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put those up in my thing. If y'all would like to follow me on there, I would be happy to put those down in the chat box. Let me control this thing. But I want to thank y'all for coming in. Thank y'all so much for coming in. Thank y'all so much for coming in. Oh, it's an echo. One second, y'all. Because I also will be posting clips there as well. Okay, I'm just going to put that out there. Okay, how I'm doing so far, everyone? So let's go back to Miss Jackie Moore. Now, she joined the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, later World Wrestling Entertainment, in 1998, and she began managing Mark Merrow. Now let's stop right there. I want to put some tea in with y'all on that. Did y'all know? I bet y'all didn't know this. Mark Merrow was actually married to Sable before Sable was married to Brock Lesnar in real life. Sable is now married to Mark Merrow, but now she's married to Brock Lesnar, and she has kids by Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is way older than Sable. And I want to bring this in as well. When you think about Sable, you think about Brock Lesnar. Some of y'all think about Brock Lesnar. But let me tell y'all some real alleged tea. That it is alleged that Sable and Vince McMahon was having an affair behind closed doors when she was with the company. And that is one of the reasons why she left the wrestling world back in 1999, or was it 2004 when she returned, because she returned in 2003. Sable did, but she left a year later because it was some alleged stuff that was going around saying that allegedly Vince McMahon was sleeping with Sable. Sable was sleeping with Vince McMahon. Well, around that time, 2003, 2004, I believe Sable and Brock Lesnar was going together. Like, I really don't know, but that is alleged. Now, that's what I heard now. That's one of the reasons Sable left, because her and Vince McMahon was having an affair, or Vince McMahon allegedly forced himself on her, because it has been known that Vince McMahon has been known to be wild behind the scenes when it comes to these young women and stuff, these wrestlers and everything. It's like, allegedly, if you want a title match, yes, that's tea. Yes, indeed, from the silk. So I'm gonna tell you some more tea. So allegedly, behind the scenes, I've heard this and I read about this. I know this is about Jacqueline Moore, but can I tell y'all some more tea what I found out allegedly, and then we're gonna get back to Jacqueline Moore. Can I do that for y'all? Would y'all like that? Do y'all mind? Allegedly. I wouldn't tell y'all nothing wrong. So if y'all want me to, I will be happy to. I might pass over the hour mark, but that is totally fine. But let me go ahead and put this back on Ms Jackie. Okay, from the sip, I got you. Okay, I'm gonna put out some more tea. Okay, so you can't think of Jacqueline without thinking WWE. Even though she has been in other wrestling promotions, she's had some legendary moments. Well, let's talk about Vince McMahon for a second. And it does not have anything to do with Miss Jackie or Jacqueline Moore. But let's talk about Vince McMahon, because I brought up Sable. I brought up Vince McMahon. I know a lot of y'all might want to know some alleged tea that was going around for years. It is said that allegedly Vince McMahon was basically feeling and touching on some of the wrestlers, women, and allegedly some boy toys as well. Shawn Michaels, for example, allegedly. So, if these women wanted an opportunity, basically, you know how Vince McMahon was. If y'all watch WWE the way I watch WWE and how I studied this stuff and how many videos that I watched and how much stuff I studied when it comes to stuff like this, is not only is it alleged, it is some truth to it. And it is alleged that's one of the reasons why today Vince McMahon is not in charge of the WWE no more. Because some illegal stuff went down. And it has something to do with alleged sex trafficking. And it has something to do with a lot of scandals. And that's why his son-in-law, Triple H, who is married to Vince McMahon's daughter, Stephanie McMahon, got married in 2003. That's why Triple H is in charge of the company and of the corporation allegedly. Now, if I'm wrong, I apologize. If there's someone on here that is a wrestling fan that has been studying WWE like I have, please let me know, because I bet y'all did not know this. I'm going to get back to Miss Jackie in just a few minutes. I told you this is a wrestling podcast. I tells it like it is. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But you cannot talk about Vince McMahon. And you can't talk about Triple H. And you can't talk about Stephanie without thinking of China. Vince McMahon, Triple H, Stephanie, in my opinion, did China so very wrong. Because a lot of y'all did not know this. China and Triple H, they dated in real life from 1996 to 1999. But guess what? It is alleged that Triple H cheated on China with Stephanie McMahon. And they kind of made that into a storyline with Stephanie McMahon aligning herself with Triple H in DX. And it had got so bad to the point China wanted to off Stephanie McMahon. China wanted to allegedly hurt Stephanie McMahon because of that. Because it is alleged that Stephanie, Vince, and Triple H is the main reason why China left the WWE or World Wrestling Federation, whichever you want to call it, in 2001 after she defeated Lita at Judgment Day 2001. So what happens? China vacates the belt and they do a six-woman six-pack challenge. It was Ivory, it was Jacqueline, it was Lita, it was Jazz, it was Holly Molly, and it was Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus came out and beat all those women at the Survivor Series 2001. And so that's the alleged tea that I wanted to share with y'all with the Sable and everything, this and that and the third. Like, comment, and subscribe to all things DeAndre Dawes the show. Thank you so much from the SIP. I truly appreciate it. Thank you. I might pass my hour mark, but that is totally fine. I know I might get some backlash for telling this alleged tea. Like I said, allegedly. People can go on and do their research, but I wouldn't lie about nothing like this. If I'm wrong, if I'm telling it wrong, I will admit that. I take accountability. But that's what I do. I'm a content creator. I have my receipts. I can bag my stuff up. But I'm just being honest. Thank you so much from the SIP. Now let's go back and get back to Jacqueline. Let's go back and get to her. Okay? Let's go back and get to her. Sable was married to Mark Merrow first, which communicated in the resemblance of the World WWF Women's Championship. Okay, let's go back to the Women's Championship. Can I give y'all a little history about that? Now, let's talk about this for a minute. The Fabulous Moolah, she's gone. She's gone. She's deceased. The Fabulous Moolah, who died in 2007. A lot of people think the Fabulous Moolah was one of the greatest that there was. But honestly, when I watched The Dark Side of Wrestling, child, I learned so much stuff about the Fabulous Moolah. Allegedly, it is alleged that the Fabulous Moolah was pimping these girls out that she was training in the wrestling school, taking their money and doing them so wrong and treating them so wrong, it wasn't even funny. You can watch The Dark Side of Wrestling and peoples will tell you, those peoples in those interviews will tell you exactly how I'm telling you. It might not be in the right quotation, but it's the truth. And a lot of people want to say, oh, allegedly. Yes, allegedly. Thank you. Allegedly. Because I'm not trying to get a lawsuit going. Allegedly. So, you know what I'm saying? The Fabulous Moolah allegedly and truthfully held the Women's Championship for 30 years. After she held that belt for 30 years till Wendy Rector, an upcoming wrestling superstar, defeated her and beat her for the belt, ending her reign after 30 years. And so on and so on. You have competitors. You have Lanani Kyle. You have the Fabulous Moolah. You have Sensational Sherry. Alundra Blaze. Bull Bacano. You have all those women. And you have Jacqueline. You have so many women that have won that belt. So how did the WWE Women's Championship belt become vacant and back relevant again? Well, Alundra Blaze, known as Medusa, she left the WWE in 1995, went the World Championship Wrestling, WCW, took a garbage can, threw the belt in the garbage can, and she basically said, that's what I think about the World Wrestling Federation, allegedly. Actually, it is a video detailing that. Would y'all like to see the picture? I can put up a picture real quick. Okay, I'm back, y'all. So let me show y'all now. Let me show y'all something. See, look at that. That is what the WWE Women's Championship belt looked it like. And guess what she did? That is the scene, and that is the picture, allegedly. She took that and she threw that belt away, and she said allegedly, because I watched the video, she said, and that's what I think about the World Wrestling Federation women's title. And that's what I think about the World Wrestling women's and the women's wrestling. Basically, trash, allegedly. So let's fast forward to 1998. Sable versus Jacqueline, one of the most heated women's rivalries that there was. I don't think that it was real beef, but I can say this. Jacqueline, I can say this. China, Sunny, and many, many other women did not allegedly like Sable, because they felt like, she was getting all the spotlight. She was getting all the opportunities. They pretty much did not like Sable, allegedly. They couldn't stand her. They was in heat with her because of the way she looks. It was Terry Ronalds. It was Sunny. It was China, allegedly. May China rest in peace. They did not like Sable because of the treatment that she was getting. Especially, she was getting all the good treatment and everything. Now, Jacqueline said that she had no heat with Sable at all, because she said in an interview they allegedly they enjoyed working together. From the Sip said, "Child, yes." I'm sorry, from the Sip. I'm telling you, it is so much tea that be happening in wrestling too. I'm so happy that I can share this stuff. Like, yes, I tell you the truth. I'm telling you, they ain't playing. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this off real quick, and then we're gonna talk about it a little bit more, and then that'll be the end of this episode. But how I'm doing so far, I know I messed up in the beginning, but you know. Also, she held the WWE Women's Championship twice, and that is the belt after it was vacant. She formed the alliance with Terry Ronalds. Terry Ronalds was married to Dustin Ronalds, and Dustin Ronalds is the son of the late great Dusty Rhodes, and Dustin Ronalds is the big brother of Cody Raheem Rhodes. Well, Cody Rhodes. I'm sorry. Yeah. And they formed a team, the Pretty Mean Sisters, in the early 2000s. And also, when Jacqueline was not fighting, she was a referee. She refereed men matches and women's matches. So it's kind of like she did it all. And she entered in the first ever Women's Royal Rumble back in 2018. And that was a legendary moment. And in 2004, she beat Chavo Guerrero for the Cruiserweight Championship. I said that earlier, but I'm going to put that picture back up. If I can find it. I'm out of... This is her after she beat Chavo Guerrero, the nephew of Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero died in 2005 of November. This is after she beat Chavo Guerrero. And she lost that title at Judgment Day that same year of 2004 when she won at Judgment Day. After Judgment Day, Jacqueline Moore will leave WWE after a long absence. She returned back to the WWE in 2016 through 18, continuance now. And now she has a Legends deal. Congratulations to her. And this is why I say Jacqueline Jazz paid so much dues to a lot of these black wrestlers, women entertainers. I'm so happy to be a part of a community to say I love our community. If it wasn't for black women wrestlers like Jacqueline Moore and Jazz, again, it wouldn't be no Naomi. It wouldn't be no Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Amber Moon. A lot of these wrestlers. Jada Parker, and so much more. Alicia Fox. It wouldn't be a lot of these wrestlers that we have to this very day. And I'm so honored. Yes, from the SIP. Yes, it's truly amazing. And I love the way that Jacqueline and Jazz, I know y'all probably want to see Jazz. Let me show y'all a picture of Jazz. Cause I'm saying her name, but I'm not showing y'all, and I should be doing it. Yes, it's truly amazing. I might have to step out one more time. Now, this is Jazz. Jazz is a two-time women's champion as well. She got her start from ECW, and she was fighting men. By the way, that's gonna be my next episode. My next episode is gonna be on her as well. Because I can't wait to do this episode on her. Next week's episode is going to be on Jazz, since it's Black History Month. I'm just so happy that I was able to get a lot of this. No sound? No sound? Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm back. Hello? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Okay, I'm back. Hold on. Can y'all hear me? I hope they can hear me. But yeah, I'm going to be doing my next episode and podcast is going to be on Jazz. Can y'all hear me? Hello? Check 1 2. But that's going to be my next episode. It's going to be on Jazz. Yes, indeed. Because I love women's wrestling. I think, in my opinion, I think women's wrestling is the best wrestling that we have in this dynamic. Now, I will say back in the day, the men wrestlers back in the day, they had their moments. They had their legendary matches. We had Stone Cold Steve Austin, we had The Rock, we had Undertaker, we had Kane, we had Triple H, we had so many legendary men that carried the WWE, the World Wrestling Federation. We had peoples like Shawn Michaels. We had peoples like Razor Ramon. We had peoples like um Bam Bam Bigelow. So many other peoples, Marty Jannetty. We had peoples like Macho Man Randy Savage. We had all those men back in the day, fighting, being in legendary matches. We had Bret the Hitman Hart, Owen Hart, may he rest in peace. So many legendary peoples and moments in history regarding the men. I think the men of wrestling in the WWE or in TNA or this and that and the third, I'm talking about WWE. We had the men in the WWE back in the day that was doing their thing. But now, the men is not doing it like they used to do. Now we got women taking over this division. Now I want to go back and say, and put this up. I want to put a picture up, and I want to show y'all what I remembered growing up. And I'm going to leave that up, and that's going to be the end of my video. But I want to put this up, if I may. This is what I know. This is what I know. This is what I know. I'm going to scoot over, let y'all see. This is what I know. This is what I know. I know these women. That's what I grew up with. We talking about women of the WWE. Those women that's on here, they each laid a mark. The women in this day society, they doing everything that needs to be done. I can't say that for the men in this wrestling world, but the women is basically taking over. And that's the honest truth. The legends that was once relevant, you know, women's wrestling is really taking over this dynamic in a good and powerful way, honestly. Allegedly. I'm just being honest. So, in 2016, hold on, y'all. In 2016, Jacqueline was inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2016. Jacqueline Moore is now 62 years old, and she has signed a legend deal with the WWE. Jacqueline came to the WWE in 1998, and she left the WWE and was released in 2004. A couple of years later, she went to TNA, Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, wrestled there and managed Beer Money and so much more. Years and decades later, in 2018, she entered the Royal Rumble, and now she is a legend under a Legends deal of the WWE. And she is truly one of the greatest pioneers. So again, when I think of women's wrestling and when I think of black women superstars in the WWE, shout out to Brandon Ellerton, one of my dearest friends, who possibly would love to um watch this video whenever he get a chance. Shout out to you from the SIP. Shout out to Brandon Ellerton and so many others. And thank each and every one of y'all for coming in. I also would say thank you. And This is dedicated to all the wrestling lovers that love wrestling. And I also want to say this. I love doing what I'm doing. As a person that loves to do a podcast, I love it. So that will conclude my video about the great and the spectacular and legendary Jacqueline Moore. Again, if it wasn't for Jacqueline and if it wasn't for Jazz, it wouldn't be no Naomi, no Sasha Banks, no Bianca Belair, no Jade Cargill, no Amber Moon, no Jada Parker. It wouldn't Alicia Fox. It wouldn't be none of them. I'm talking about the black women wrestlers. So basically, Jacqueline and Jazz opened the door, especially Jacqueline. Jacqueline opened the door for a lot of women in black wrestling to have a great reputation, to leave a mark, to leave a legacy for so many peoples. So that will conclude my podcast. That will conclude my episode. Thank y'all for watching, and I really want to say I love each and every one of y'all. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, and do not forget to subscribe. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. If you didn't get a chance to watch the live, I will have the replay on so you can watch the replay. Love y'all, and I'll see y'all soon. Love y'all, and thank y'all. Love y'all. Bye-bye.